Good morning, everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes and go over course assessments with you. If you notice in the course assessments tab in Blackboard, at the very top, I have some notes on course assessments. These course assessments, the color coding and the rubric associated, are being used throughout the entire history department in the same way in order to give us continuity of assessment. And so wanted to make sure you understood what I was expecting. So first of all, in the parentheses, you will see a number. That number indicates the number of sentences that would be minimally required in order to accomplish accurately describing the thesis, evidence, and then including your commentary and analysis. First, let's start with context. Context sets the stage for your topic. It allows you to examine what was going on at the time. So, for example, on the Reconstruction essay, what was happening during Reconstruction affecting the lives of freedmen? What were the lives of freedmen like? What was going on in order to give us background into what your argument will be, which brings me to the thesis. What are you arguing is true about the lives of freedmen? Was it good? Was it bad? What is your argument, your supposition? Then historical evidence. This can be in the textbook, in the PowerPoints. It can be in one of the articles I've linked or the websites. Basically, what evidence can you present to show me that your argument, what you're saying about freedmen's lives being good or freedmen's lives being bad, what evidence can you provide that you are right? And finally, commentary and analysis is your opinion. What do you think about the information? What are your thoughts relative to this topic? And so those will be color-coded. The reason we ask you to color-code them is because it allows you to go back and make sure, wow, did I really provide a context? If you don't have anything to highlight red, then it helps you know that you will have completed every part, and it will ensure that you get the best score possible. I want to look now to the grammar. I expect you to use standard English. There's a 5% grammar deduction for failing to do so. Standard English also includes no first person. For example, I, me, my, you, we. There is no need to say I think, because it's your paper and your writing, so I know that it is your thoughts. Now, having said that about grammar, I'm not going to check every sentence perfectly for commas or you misused a semicolon. Basically, I'm wanting you to use standard English. Capitalize where you should. Use words that are actually words and appropriate. After you have done that, you will be asked to do citations, citing any work that you used. Your citations will include the course materials, your textbook, and the PowerPoints that you look at in relation to this assignment. Now, if you use outside sources, like for example, on the Reconstruction essay, here I have other sources. You will need to include those. You are also welcome to go and look at other sources, but if you do that, you need to cite them. Now, when I say cite in APA, all I mean is get a works cited sheet of paper with all of your resources on it and put your citations in APA, a standard format. You don't have to have the essay itself in APA. You don't have to have headers and footers and title page and all that. All you need to do is make sure you cite it at the end. Now, I've included in here, if you look, I have an example citation of my PowerPoint. That's just a little bit of a tedious one, and I didn't want you to have to figure out how to do it. So you will write Wilson, L, 2018, the title of the unit lesson. So if it's Chapter 15 Reconstruction, that's what you'll put here. And then in the brackets, you put which slides you used. If you used all of them, then just use all of them. And you will reference each PowerPoint that you use separately, okay? Now, failing to put citations at the end of your work is plagiarism. Plagiarism is not just copying someone else's words, it's also taking credit for resources of theirs, using them to influence your work without giving them appropriate credit. Having said that, Also, copying is plagiarism. Don't copy straight from the book. Don't copy straight from my PowerPoint. Don't copy from one of your peers or a website, because this work will be assessed via Safe Assign, which means when you submit it, if you have copied word for word, it is going to send me a flag, hey, this is copied verbatim from another source. And I want you to be sure that you're using your words and your ideas. So let's scroll down and look specifically at the reconstruction essay, as that's the one that's due first. So if you click here, you will see an opportunity for the rubrics, okay? These rubrics, there are two. The reason there are two is the short essay rubric is now being used for grading, and it's being used across our entire department. I think I already mentioned that. Basically, every group, every student in every history class is going to be using this particular rubric. It's very straightforward. It has the exact 4 things that are in the color code, okay? The other rubric that is here, you'll notice it says it is used for secondary evaluation. I only included this for your reference. This is the rubric that I designed for this essay before we had a standard history department essay rubric. And so basically, if you are proficient in all of these columns right here, then you will have a very good grade on this test. So I really just left this to be a reference for you to help you check yourself. Hey, did I make sure that I talked about the 2 primary resources and the other information she gave us? Did I make sure I included some thoughts about the lives of freedmen, etc., etc.? So this is just for your reference and will not be used for grading. It'll just make sure that you get the best possible score. So here are the assignment details. It says that you can consider everything in Unit 1 that includes in your textbook. And I want you to just tell me about the lives of freedmen, about their legal status. What do you think the vagrant law and the 14th Amendment, what does that show you about what their lives were really like? The vagrant law is very harsh. The 14th Amendment is supposed to protect citizenship. So how do those two work together? Are they in contradiction with each other? So that is how you will complete your first course assessment. After you've watched this video, if you have any questions or anything that you're not sure about, please feel free to email me or call me. And I wish you the best of luck. This is due Tuesday, February 20th at end of day, 11:59. So best of luck.